watch and learn. We really care. It's our turn. Stories to share. Copy bisig, hawak kamay. The Filipino vibe runs high. PHLV Radio, ikaw at ako. Home vibes in the flow. Mula sa Las Vegas at home ka dito. PHLV Radio, ikaw at ako. Ako. Nakakaisa, sabay-sabay. We're united, come what may. Sing along, dance away. Para sa'yo ito all day. PHLV Radio, ikaw at ako. Home vibes in the flow. Mula sa Las Vegas at home ka dito. PHLV Radio, ikaw at ako. Ikaw at ako. PHLV Radio.
Hello, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. This is Tony Rose Lopez and you're watching Mahalo Halo Las Vegas here in Las Vegas. This 7:02. I am here without my sister, MC Lepa Leps. However, we have an amazing cast and crew of people in the building today. I am so excited to be in this legendary room because it is history in the making, and I have to introduce it that way because our community is flourishing. We're blossoming here in Las Vegas, and I think internationally, with our creativity, with our innovation, hard work, and our Filipino community has to be very, very proud. I'm very proud to be a part of our kababayan here in Las Vegas and really fruitfully, developing our community here. So before I get started, I want to just thank you guys for being here. This is an amazing live broadcast. So without further ado, guys, I want to introduce our casting crew, our director. First of all, I want to introduce her as a creative, fellow creative, and just a dedicated Filipina here in our town for Made to Shine. The short series or a series that's coming up. We have a feature that will be taking place at the Plus 6350, and it will be airing on Fil-Am TV. So everybody give it up for the director and writer of Made to Shine, Giovanni Espiritu.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for having me, Tony. This is awesome and having us here to introduce the audience to the show.
Absolutely. And then, of course, next to her, she's a very familiar face in our community, always doing something positive and just inspiring our community. Miss Esmeralda Padilla Gould. She is the VP and COO of Fil-Am TV. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having us. And also to Mr. Johan Saison.
Of course. Last but not least, well, we have two. We have a Zoom interview that she is actually in California. So I'm so glad she can join us because she is a star of this incredible film. Welcome, everybody, Alexis Aubrey. Yay!
Hello, everyone.
I love the live. And then also, we have to my right here, Mr. Kenneth Gold. He is also playing the Miguel Corazon, right? That's your character name. So, all right, welcome everyone. Let's get started. What inspired this amazing Made to Shine film or this series?
Esmeralda.
Let's get into it. Esmeralda, I know you are, the brains behind Fil-Am TV, and you have a wonderful team that, backs you. Let's talk about this idea and how it came to fruition.
I wanted to do something special for Fil-Am TV network that will benefit the entire Filipino community in America. And what else could that be but a beautiful romantic comedy?
Right.
Or a teleserye.
Yeah.
And when I interviewed Giovanni on my TV show called The Vegas Vibes Junction, I got inspired like, oh my God, I finally found the amazing person who will bring this or take this one or how, make this one a reality.
Right.
And none other than Giovanni Espiritu.
Oh.
So I had a conversation with her, and then we went in, we sat down and talked about it, and then please.
No, Esmeralda took me out to lunch after she interviewed me on her show Vegas Vibes, and she wanted to create something for the Fil-Am TV network. And like I just have like sometimes these weird ideas that pop up in my
Always,
head
yeah.
all the time. And when I actually went into the network, I pitched 4 horror films, this series, a game show, and a talk show. But the thing that inspired the series was that I was like, what makes Las Vegas and the Fil-Am community? What are like things where they intersect at? And there's a lot of hospitality. Like Las Vegas is known for hospitality, so it's like, okay, well, there's maid services, and I like romance,
Yes,
and you know
yes,
what I mean, and like also like the P-pop stars come here and they have their concerts, and I was like, what if there's like a maid that meets a Fil-Am pop star? And I always love talking about like classes and the difference between like the haves and the have-nots, and like the conflicts that happen between there, and how people can get together. So that's kind of where the series came from.
You know what? And that collaboration right there is creating magic, right? So then how did you guys figure out the cast, and how did you do the casting call? And of course, Miss Alexis Aubrey, she's joining us from California. We want to just kind of see how you guys met her, and was she in town? Was this an open casting call? Tell us about the process.
Alexis, do you want to take that one?
Yeah.
I actually met her husband first.
Okay.
I met JoJo on a movie called not Made to Shine,
Love and Karma.
And and I met Alexis through him, and we just had dinner one time, and then before this series came on, I was like, oh, Alexis would be really great.
Right.
We still auditioned a lot of people, but honestly, like she was the one that I had as a prototype in my head, because not only does she like sing, and she's super adorably cute and very personable, and they can handle both like like the momness and the humbleness of being a maid and also being a superstar, which you cannot find those like traits in a lot of people.
The it factor, right?
Yeah, like I already had her in my brain, but we did audition like a lot of people for her role. But Alexis just kind of won us over. So
I love that. Alexis, how does it feel to be able to feature with your husband? Correct.
Yes. We haven't done a project together for a long time. So it's really exciting. And I see more than anything more than working with my husband, when I saw the material and what it's actually like, dear Gio has been telling me to audition, and I was like, well, I haven't acted for a long time. I don't know if I can do it. And she said, oh, there's a singing part. Like, okay, I think I can sing, but I'm not sure if I can portray the role. And so when I saw her post about the casting call and that they're looking for Elena, when I read the description of Elena, I feel like I can be that Elena.
Okay.
Or I am that Elena. So it's really nice to, so when they offered the role, I was like, okay, this is it. I'm going to do it. And I'm really excited. And I feel like with your question, it's better to work with my husband, especially if some scenes we really need to have a rapport, kind of like that. So
yes,
I feel like it's easier because we just like jump into it, and Gio was like, can you do this? Can you do that? Like, sure.
No introduction, just go for it. No, that's really cool. And how long have you been acting?
I started acting when I was in college. so I took up theater arts from UP Diliman.
Okay.
2004.
Wow. So you're pretty much a veteran. You just have, a lot of. Do you have a lot of short films in your repertoire now?
I have done a lot of short films back in the Philippines. I did some Cinemalaya and Cinema One and a lot of independent films.
I love that. All right. Well, we have your co-star here as well. We have Kenneth, who is also Esmeralda's son. So let's talk about this because how exciting. We were offline. We were just celebrating the fact that, Kenneth is on screen with this beautiful cast, but also he's your son. And so how does that feel to watch him on the big screen? Let's start with Esmeralda first.
Just to make it clear, it wasn't me who casted
Oh, no,
him.
absolutely not. Of course.
Because I am the executive producer. Well, one of the executive producers is also Mr. Sam Buban. So he was the one who actually suggested or wanted Kenneth to portray the role of Miguel Corazon.
And if it's a fit, it's a fit. It doesn't matter how.
But it took me some convincing
Right.
to do.
Okay, so let's talk about it, Kenneth.
And
How do you
workshops
feel?
from Giovanni.
It's funny, letting my mom see a more performant side of me. You know what I mean? It's not more of an honest version of me, but a different version that most parents don't get to see of their kid.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And it was so funny getting casted for this. I only had a small connection in there, but this was my first time really acting or doing this sort of thing. Haven't thought about it or considered it as much as maybe other people have. So getting sort of thrown into the deep end here and working through it, it's been such a performative and such a new experience for me that didn't coincide with other things I've been through in my life.
Yeah, you're only a senior in high school.
Right.
So you have a long way to go. You have a lot of experience to live. But how fun is it to be able to do the creative part? A lot of parents push for different types of career paths, but to be able to work with your mom, how cool is that, right? In this space.
Right. It's cool. It's cool seeing her on set.
Yeah.
And letting her watch me do some scenes. In terms of the creative part of it, I do some other creative work like music and a little bit of art.
Right.
And
Aren't you a video game designer too? And don't
I
you
am.
have like a 4.6 GPA? Or
The Filipino community needs to just be very humble about our talents because Gio, you're not only a director, you're also a part writer in this, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about the process of writing this. Did you meet the cast already and did you
No,
make some
so-
changes or was it already written?
My writing process is first we had to get the green light on the series first, and originally it was conceived as a 10 episode series, but with the funding we had to consolidate to 6 episodes, so I have to rework everything in my brain.
Right.
And then I write it with character types in mind, and even like casting. I was like, even though Uncle Sam suggested Kenneth, I was like very like, we need a real actor. We need it because it's very emotional. There are things that are happening. Like, I don't know. I'm very particular with my actors. But once I met Kenneth and we did the open call, I was like, oh my gosh, he's perfect for it.
Yeah.
I just hope that he can act. And,
No pressure.
yeah, and so we did a couple of workshops, and like he was great. Like he
He's a
took
natural.
direction well, and I didn't really need to change any of the characters for the
Nice.
people. Like I created characters, and then we cast the people afterwards. Writing process is just throwing up my soul on the page.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
So then majority or all of the film was based here in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So nobody
Majority,
majority,
actually.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
majority.
So how was that? Did you guys pick a spot, or was it hard to get locations? This is all behind the scenes, guys.
Yeah,
because
so
when you
all
watch
the crew
it,
stuff. Yeah. So because I have to write in terms of how to structure the budget, right? So I had to think about the locations that we had and what can be used for different things. Thankfully, we were able to use Uncle Sam's house for it and different locations in Las Vegas that were very kind to let us use it for free or reduced cost.
Yeah.
It's very, like, when you make a series like this, you really need the backing of the community because,
Right.
like, we don't have Hollywood budgets. You know what I mean? So we have to be very, very
Mindful.
about, like, where we shoot, how long we shoot, how many characters we need on set that day.
Right,
And,
right.
It's a very humble but very sweet production.
How fun.
Yeah.
Esmeralda, tell us about our date that we're shooting for May 30th. We're featuring this film. It's a red carpet event. It's going to take place at plus 6350 Fil-Am Central, right? So
Correct.
in Filipino town, guys.
Yes,
We
we
have to
have-
announce that.
Yes, in the heart of the Filipino town.
Yes. So tell us about the event and what to expect.
Well, we're going to have the world premiere screening event of episode 1 of Made to Shine, and we will have entertainment. We'll have question and answer.
Okay.
And we have also
dancing.
raffle dancing. Yeah.
Of course, there's dancing. There's
Yeah, if you're Filipino. And maybe karaoke too. We might throw in
Yeah.
karaoke there.
Wow.
I'm surprised there's no basketball.
We might incorporate that. We need bigger
Never
space.
too late.
We'll move to the parking lot of plus
Yes.
6350.
All right, so it'll be at the Fil-Am TV Central world premiere May 30th. It'll take place about 5 p.m.
Yes.
We are putting up the information here on the screen for you guys to check out. Where can we find the information so that those that want to attend here locally can?
Just reach out to me.
Okay.
My phone number is 702-518-6180.
All right, you heard it here first, guys. You call her and she will pick up. Not past 9 yet. All right, so tell me a little bit more about the process for you as the executive producer. Like, were you on the cutting floor? You know, the editing process. Did you have any say in that, or was it all Gio and her team?
Well, during the casting call, I had to approve who will be the main characters.
Okay.
And then everything else, I left it to Gio.
Right. Okay. So it was easy.
And well, not really, because in the beginning, I had someone else in mind to play the role of
Gabriel?
Gabriel
Okay.
and Elena. But when I saw the audition of Alexis and Jojo, I said, "Oh my God, their
Chemistry's
chemistry
there.
is the
Right.
perfect fit for this
Right.
project, Made to Shine."
And Alexis, tell me a little bit about your character. Did you have to deviate a lot from who you are? Because of course it's a different, type of work or environment, or was it very natural for you to just jump right in?
Definitely. I'm not Alexis. I'm
Right.
Elena.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I how do I say that? I went through a lot of like a process. I went into a process where I really need to internalize that I don't have 3 kids and that I have a 16-year-old. That I'm like since I immigrated here, never worked. Like I just stay at home. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I really have to do my research, and I did a lot of things to be that Elena,
Right.
that the show required me. So yeah, it's a lot of work for me as well.
You did wonderfully.
Yes.
Like, you're great.
Yeah, and then as far as having a 16-year-old son, did you really? She's fairly young, so it's like you guys are kind of like brother and sister off camera. But how did that feel to, have to act outside of yourself, because this is your first real, on screen?
Right. Acting as a character besides anyone is always going to be difficult, but Miguel is a very interesting character and a unique character at that to portray. He is very different from me. He's smart, right? He's a smart kid, but he's very hot-headed, He's very irrational, pretty emotional.
Okay.
Which is a very interesting blend
Right.
Because, you know, if you're smart, you can think through decisions, you know what to do. But part of his subconscious chooses to do the other things.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
okay, interesting.
So having to sort of delve into this character that Giovanni expertly written, no bias at all, you know, it was very tough, but I hope I got it a little bit right.
In the beginning, I was telling Giovanni it might be tough for Kenny to scream or yell at anyone because we're so calm at home. We
Yeah.
don't fight. We don't scream at each other.
Right.
And yeah, he's very mellow.
So yeah, it definitely gives you a little bit of uncomfortable, but growth, right?
Right. I had to dig out a lot of, like, sort of my personal, you know, not repressed things, but sort of I had to dig out a lot of what I didn't even know was there in order to get what I could for this character.
Well, that's what the artistry is about, right? You kind of express it in different ways. So, Gio, tell us about past projects. I know you've been very busy since even before this.
Yeah.
Tell us about some past projects. I know you've done short film features in the past.
Yeah, I like working with very, very new actors. If I could see the spark there, because I actually did acting coach. I still coach actors from. I've been an acting coach since 2008. So I was very comfortable working with like actors and just like directing them through things.
Right.
My short films, they've won a lot of awards. So I have a telly, and I have a lot of directing awards. I just won something at the Poppy Jasper Film Festival for my film Into the Void. You know, I work a lot.
Yes.
I try to work a lot. But yeah, like you can look it up on IMDb, like all the work, and I do acting too. Like I did an episode of NCIS Origins this year, so I do all the things.
I love that.
As an artist, you have to put all the hats on to be to make a living.
Yeah, and hats off to everybody on the crew. I know it takes a huge amount of dedication, especially when it's your first baby, and especially it's a series, right? You guys, how many episodes total?
6.
6 episodes. So you guys were together how long?
I think we had a 12-day shoot, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. You guys consolidated a
Yeah,
lot.
no, I'm really efficient. I'm
Yeah.
like super efficient with stuff. Like that's
That's
the only way
awesome.
that we can be if for a limited budget. But yeah, but we well, we have to be. I'm just being like really.
Yes, that's
really
very honest. Right.
But we had to schedule it on the weekends because Kenneth was in school.
Of course.
And then also Alexis and JoJo were in California. So
Yeah.
like the scheduling is always like the toughest part of it.
Right. So what's next for you guys? I know that Fil-Am TV, you guys are always coming up with new things, but what's are you guys going to continue with a second series or yeah? Crossing fingers, everybody? All right. Well, May 30th is definitely going to be an exciting world premiere of Made to Shine. Again, it's Alexis, JoJo, Kenneth starring, and then you guys are going to have red carpet, photos, Q&A, lots of dancing, food, I assume, and just a good time. And if you guys have any questions for us, you guys can ask us now if you're on live with us. You know, if you have behind the scenes inquiries of those that produce these shows. Fil-Am TV right now, Esmeralda, tell us a little bit more about what you guys are airing. Do you have anything going on that's new concurrently with this one?
So right now, we have few shows that are also airing in the Philippines. Actually, Fil-Am TV is on 108, channel 108,
Okay.
on Converge.
Nice.
And Sky TV. So we have Vegas Vibes Junction. We have all kinds of Filipino-American
Yes.
television show, and we're actually encouraging more people like PHLV Radio to send us your content
Yeah.
so we can air it on our platform and also it can reach the Philippines. And also we're also in China, WCET.
Nice. I have a question. Do you guys are you guys going to bring, I know it's going to be airing in Philippines as well, but would you be open to bringing the cast and crew there as this becomes
If we have the budget.
Yeah. I can come too.
Yeah, we really wish for this project to be very successful so we can sustain it and be able to create more content for
Right.
the Philippine Americans and for everyone Filipinos and all over the world.
And being a director, you have so many ideas. I'm sure, like, every time you guys are together, there's always something going
Oh,
on,
yeah.
right? So tell
Oh,
me
yeah.
about, like, when you guys want to create more, you're able to do that because you have the platform
Like
to do it,
we
right?
have infinite stories that we can pull out of the air,
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
we need to have more Filipino American content with Filipino Americans or Filipinos in the lead, centered in those roles, not just like side characters.
Right.
We need more of that, but in order to have that, we need community support. We need people to support our
Exactly.
show.
Right, right,
we
right.
need the community to come together and
Right.
not be like all crab mentality. You know what I mean?
No, and I think it's really to speak to that. You know, it's easy to say, "Oh, I want to do this, I want to do that," but the minute you say it out loud, I'm very much about that. The minute you say it out loud, it's like you have to go and be accountable for that.
Yeah.
So once you decided, "Hey, I'm going to put something out there," which is this idea, you met, and then it all aligns, right? So as far as meeting also Alexis from California, having met her, it matched, it made sense, and then of course her co-star is also her husband, so it makes all the sense that this is a project that was meant to be and made to shine. So Kenneth, do you have now do you want to pursue acting because of this, or how do you feel?
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm at the moment I'm more interested in music or game development right now.
Okay.
I just won an award at school.
I did.
Yes, as best in digital.
Digital game development.
Wow.
He has been a
congrats.
game programmer at
Right.
age of 14. Yeah.
I love mathematics. I love software, stuff like that.
Wow.
Logic in general.
And he's very musically inclined. He plays the drums, trumpet, piano, and vibraphone. I just had to mention with 4.535 GPA.
6 foot.
That's all. I stand corrected.
Oh, wow. Well, Alexis, do you have any projects that you're working on now since this has wrapped for now? Are you just resting? You just taking care of the fam?
Yeah, just taking care of the kids. But when there's an opportunity, I would probably jump into it. I'm more focused right now in emceeing and performing on events, and mostly like private events. So that's what I do on weekends.
That's awesome. And you also sing. So do you want to drop some notes now? No pressure. If you want to. Right, we'll do another show with Alexis next time. Well, I'm excited to meet you online. I know that you're a busy mama, and you know you have so many things going on. Regards to your husband Jojo as well. Congratulations on this beautiful series that you guys have come so far. You know, and you guys are a definite mega team. Right, Mega Team Made to Shine, you guys. World premiere May 30th at Plus 6350 here in Filipino Town, in the heart of Filipino Town. We have the information here. If you guys have any questions, you guys can always call us up. Call up Esmeralda. Fil-Am TV is continuously growing. If you guys have any content that you want to submit, have ideas, hey, it's an open platform. We can, we welcome.
We try
you
to
know,
be generous to
Yeah.
everyone who would like to submit their
I mean, what
content.
more content? What kind of content?
But it
do
has
you
to be
want?
wholesome.
Family show,
Yes,
guys.
family oriented.
Yeah, talk about what kind of ideas that you already currently have and maybe would welcome to present.
We're pretty much open to any
Yeah.
genre.
Okay.
And yeah, just let us know if we like it. Then you're
All
it.
right. All right, Gio. If you have anything to say to our community, our kababayan, or those that are pursuing directing or writing, especially in the entertainment industry, tell them how to do it or inspire them.
I would say start with what you have. Like when I did my first film, it was just me and my laptop, and that was it. If you have something to say, write it down, put it out there, because your story might be somebody else's survival guide. And, you know, like, please support other Filipinos and Filipino Americans, because it's really through community that we can lift each other up. Yeah.
I love that. Esmeralda, what about you? I know that you have a full plate. You're always, you know, in the community, just really inspiring. If there's anything that you want to inspire our community here in Las Vegas and internationally, what would it be?
Well, right now my focus is uplifting the Filipino American community here in Las Vegas and around the globe.
Yes.
And we're starting by creating this wonderful project called Made to Shine. And I hope that it will blossom into something that will inspire everyone to to have the bayanihan, just like what Giovanni has said. If you could just come out on May 30th and please support our
Yes.
project, our TV series, and I assure you, you will be very, very proud of this
Yes.
project, because Giovanni did a wonderful job, and all
whole
our cast
team
members, the whole team, the cast
Did a wonderful
members.
job. Yeah.
Yes, and so I'm just very, very, very proud of
And
Natasha.
we're going to turn it to Alexis. Tell us, for those that are pursuing acting, you're a full-time mama. If you can do it, anyone can do it and still continue in the craft. I think, sometimes when we have our family, we're like, oh, we're just going to focus on that. But you did it, and you're setting the platform or setting the stage technically for those that still want to pursue it. Tell us, some words of advice for those that want to pursue that.
Oh, I think it's just it's coming from passion. So I'm very passionate about acting, performing, and using that as a platform and a medium for me to support our community, to uplift each other.
Right.
And I think it's when you're coming from something with greed and passion, everything will work out, or you make things work.
I love that. And then Kenneth, last but not least, to your fellow students, and congratulations, by the way, you've had so many successes in this, in your formative years. So now that you are on the big screen, we're excited to introduce you to the world, but also if you have any words of encouragement for your fellow seniors or students.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
If you have opportunities, go for it. Just go for it. It's worth it, Don't do, make sure you do things so you don't regret as much later. It's so important to make the most out of everything. But again, go watch the show. I can't describe enough. These two really did make it happen.
Yeah.
The director and the producer. It's incredible. They really did make it happen.
Hey, it does take a team, and it definitely takes a village to raise amazing projects and amazing things. So once again, guys, May 30th, Friday, 5 p.m., plus 6350, Fil-Am Central here in the heart of Filipino town. Check out the flyer here for your information. Please come out and support our fellow crew, cast, and just our community. And just make sure that you guys uplift one another in the projects that your friends, your family are doing. Show up, and that will inspire you to become bigger and better. And it's never competition here, it's always collaboration. And yeah, you're watching Mahalo Halo Las Vegas and then some. I'm your host, guys. You know where to watch us, PHLVradio.com, and the rest is on all the streaming platforms. We'll see you next time. Mabuhay.
Just like a friend from back home.
This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.
PHLV Radio.
Thank you.